Look at his natal chart. His sun's up in Gemini, Saturn's in Cancer. The sun and moon are opposed to each other, so anything hits the sun will hit the moon. The ascendants in Leo, so they're 1, 2, 3, each a sign apart. So Saturn will start in Cancer, move up to. Oh no, I have to work on this chart. I'm sorry. Just have to work on this chart a little. We can't just go straight into the timings before we've done this. Okay. Moon and Sag. The need. It's the enthusiastic moon. It's the multifaceted moon. The moon feels I want to try anything. You see, opportunistic. It's nighttime increasing, nighttime is greater, but it's fire mutable. It's I'll try this. I'll go this. This sounds like fun. There's a need to understand. To be. Don't fence me in. You know, it's like I don't want to have just one place. I want to be in different countries. I want to be a different place. I want to live different places. That moon and Sag, it's there. It's the need for security, but it's in Sagittarius, which is kind of a contradiction. The moon and Sag is traveling. What's security? Well, in a simple way, having hotels in all different countries and being able to travel and always have your own place to stay in, you could say that's security. But does he overdo it? Does it get exaggerated? The Jupiter that rules this, the Sagittarius, it can perhaps eat too much. It can have drinks too much. It can perhaps exaggerate too much. Like the feelings are going to be exaggerated. They're going to be acted on and exaggerated. It's a bravado, the moon and Sag. So on its own, that's its own special energy. The aspects to it, it's in the 4th house. The need for security, the need to expand and to have security. Okay, this moon, sextiles to Jupiter, not bad. Trines to Mars, not bad. But it opposes the sun and the Uranus. So opposing the sun, that's the contrast between the past and future. The moon, the feelings fight the sun, the confidence. But the sun is conjunct Uranus and it's most independent. And both of them oppose the moon. So it's really the Uranus hitting the sun and both picking up and disrupting the moon. So he does things, and then who fixes that up after? He goes and then he gets caught by his past. His past disrupts the feelings, and then moods get disrupted or get shocked. As soon as he gets shocked, who needs to stop? I don't need to stay in this. He can move away from it and move on. And then you could say he's got his 3 kids, some 3 wives, and he moved on, and they changed. He has a mixed, extended family, you might say. That's part of this Uranus moon is very insecure, unstable roots to the past, shocks from the past, disruptions from home and family. You know, so now, so this moon, by being hit by Uranus, it's destabilized. His stability, his groundwork, his foundation is not stable. He'd built up so many hotels for a long time, and then he had a cash flow crisis. He went several of them went bankrupt, and he lost a lot of his properties, and he rebuilt again. But letting the past go, having this if he's not stable personally, it's hard. It's eccentric or difficult to rely on him. But this moon has a need for the family and the home, the need for things that opposes. Since he's in the White House, he's trying to set family members up to work in positions. Even that's a conflict to begin. So he has this natural sense of conflict and diversity. But out of this, the Uranus to the moon is the most unstable factor. So even when he moved into when he got elected, for 6 months he didn't want to move until he wanted his wife with the kids wanted to stay in the apartment. So in the apartment in New York, so he gets finish his school year with the kids he had in class, rather than go to the White House and move and change everything right away. Okay, so it's easy to go in and see these things and make them associations, but that's what we do. We sort of see these associations to life. It depends how well you know a person. So you could say it's difficult to get close to him. He would know a lot of people. He would have a feelings that he knows all sorts of people, but nobody's really stably anchored to him. He's not a person who can rely on his past. There's too many letdowns and shocks with the past for it to be necessarily stable. Okay, that's the moon. It takes in impressions. So everything's putting out. It's only his moon that takes in impressions, reactions to family. Anytime he takes an impression, he makes it a personal feeling. He overreacts, exaggerates around it. It's a pride thing. He takes it personally. And then as it goes in, he gets angry. It's the Scorpio I see. And he gets motivated. That's wrong. I'm going to fight against that. I'm going to do something. And he pumps up to go do things. So when he's encouraged by others, he gets really pumped. And but that's always his opinion, his feelings, has these strong opinions. And that's how he takes things. It's through his feelings and his opinions. So your opinions of him, people's opinions, he gets affected by it. Somebody puts down his pride. That's a huge thing. But it is interesting that even in his presidency, the immediate neighbors and the immediate friends he doesn't show a lot of attention to, but he shows a lot of attention to Korea, to making deals with the extreme elements that are unstable in other stable countries, but not so much in his own home. It's a funny pattern. Anyway, it's a puzzle. From there, we'll go to the Mercury. His Mercury, it's in Cancer, sensitive, impressionable, moody, affected by the moon. So we're just talking about how the moon takes in the feelings and he's reacting, and he has this understanding of what's right, what's wrong, and he feels secure. I've done what's right. This is what I'm doing. How I live is what's right. He has that sense. His Mercury is ruled by the moon. It's picking up. It picks up his lunar energy, and his feelings will affect the way he's thinking. His feelings about who's a friend and who's not a friend. So you're either with me or against me. So he's got a strong sense of what home is, what security is. So in a certain way, he has his mind on his anti-immigrant status and is trying to make America great, or white America great again. He has it. You can see his moon in Cancer pushing a somewhat conservative emotional agenda, and it gets once he puts his idea, he gets overly reactive to it by the moon. So you can see how this is how we're going to make America great again. We just got to get rid of everybody that's come in here that's not American or not whatever. But the Mercury, no aspects to it except one aspect squared to Neptune. Of all the aspects, Mercury to square Neptune is the most deceptive, deluded, illusionary, even dishonest aspect. It's very difficult to think for yourself. There's a tendency to be deluded, deceptive, to push things, to follow ideas to the extremes, to think wrongly, to invest. It's like normally when someone has it, you wouldn't ever suggest they would speculate. He's made fortune speculating, but he's also lost fortune speculating. But really, he's met a lot of friends who line up with him, but there's an awful lot of people that have fallen out of his way that were friends, and as soon as there's a loss, boom, they're gone. But this Neptune, the ability to see what he wants to see, to see things a certain way, if it gets negative into prejudice or to deceptions or dishonesty, so making a deal, everybody thinks like this, so let's just make a deal, let's just do it. This sideways thinking or master of the half-truth is there. It's hard for him to be sincere and clear. While he believes he's being totally sincere, his behavior is not stable. And even in this, you can see how his conservative would attract the kind of the religious people who believe he's fighting the Antichrist, which is, well, unfortunately, they believe that the tendency to globalize or to make all the countries come together is the Antichrist, and that fighting it is being more Christian. So the fighting immigrants, things like this, it's part of that. Anyways, he has his ability to talk sensitively. When you're meeting personally, he's ability to talk to you, but it's hard to sift between the enthusiasm of how he's talking and what's really real or what's really sincere. I mean, he's the first president that's come in that they have documents of how many lies or mistruths he told every day of his term. So he's a puzzle. So they say he's a puzzle. He's this, that, but he's guiding a country with this confused ideas. If he gets mad or he gets feeling righteous about something, he could take this to a very far limit, but he's not thinking clearly. When you don't think clearly, what's the result of it? When you're not being honest with your thoughts, what's the result of it? It's gullible. It can be deceptive, it can be dishonest, it can be vulnerable to deception and dishonest. He can be certainly influenced by people he knows. So the capacity to be influenced from someone like Putin or someone from another country and see the influence and see it as a special thing, he has that. But it's not what's real. What's his real priorities? That's really hard to say. It's very confusing. He may never be able to think exactly clearly. It hasn't interfered with him being a success. But when you see people around, the friends around him in being successful, there's a lot of questionable characters. At its best, it'd be someone being not wanting to talk, being kind of humble, trying to chat, relating to people with a similar cause, similar way, and it plays on a more simpler side of things. But, but it's Donald Trump. Okay, so so is Mercury wanting to communicate and express to friends how we're going to make our home great and significant again. We've got to change it. We're going to do it. Look what's missing. Look what's messing it all up. I mean, really, other than the natives and aboriginals, North America is built. It's all about immigrants. Everybody comes from another country, and so the confused ethnicity, the confused thinking, questionable ideas about quartz, thinking and use them for himself, these things are strongly accentuated in this Mercury-Neptune. Okay. I came in determined not to talk so negatively, but anyways, here we are. Venus is in Cancer with Saturn. Venus in Cancer. In Cancer, I want friends. I want to be liked. I want the team. I like friends. I know what's good. I know what culture is good. I know what family, what friends are there. So the Mercury and the Venus are both in the 11th house, both in Cancer. While Mercury is hit by Neptune, which has the confusion, Venus is hit by Saturn, which has a stinginess. It's conjunct by Saturn, which is controlled emotions, controlled finances. I'm not giving you if you don't give me first. I'm not going to show you what I have. I'm not going to show you my books. I want to know what I can get out of your box first. So there's a classic defensiveness around emotions. So, or the ability to use affections to accomplish things. It's Venus to Saturn is not a comfortable aspect. It's like a young girl being with an old man. Although he has that. But it's in his chart. It's going to cost. It means he's inhibited. Like the feeling needs to have a home, needs to have kids, wants to feel strongly about it. He's going to be overly serious about it and inhibited about it. So this is a reserve. This is a cautiousness. This is what makes him want to make money. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. It's never enough. I got to be worried for more. And that's the part that I call it a stingy aspect, but it's the part where I got to get more. I can't give more. So that's the over-controlling side. So he can meet people, but he certainly is looking to gain, not gain more than he's going to give. Now the Venus also is squared by Jupiter. Venus squared Jupiter likes to spend, likes an abundance of things. I like these things. I like all these things. I want all these things. So it has almost unlimited wants, but the Saturn comes in, no, you got to do business to get that. You got to be practical to it. The Saturn comes in, it's not a bad influence of Jupiter Saturn. That makes a good businessman. But it comes on Venus and makes him controlled on his finances. He's not going to throw his money away usually. He's going to see how he's benefiting, how he's gaining by it. So this Saturn-Venus squared by Jupiter, it's expansion and restriction.